And we're back. We're here with USMC FT Thor and USMC FT Zeus. You guys want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Zeus, I'm Gunnery Sergeant Zeus. I am the staff, my commissioned officer in command of field team as of current.
Thor?
I am Sergeant USMC FT Thor. I am with USMC Field Team. At the moment, I am Assistant Squad Leader in 1st Platoon, 1st Squad.
All right, so you guys are field team. Obviously, everyone knows that now. Do you mind telling me a little bit about your guys' self? Because obviously, you guys are kind of going through a spiritual reboot right now. Am I correct?
Yeah, so about I want to like let's just, let me just fucking let's go like back in time, back in time. Um, field team, and as people know, field team and 1FR were the standard of what Milsim should be. And then over time, 4th ID came along, and then they rode the backs of us, and that's how they ascended to what they are now. But with field team, it's always been a team to where you come to field team to us to better yourself. The boot camp is very extensive for a reason. Once you make it past the boot camp, the culture inside the team offers you, a chance to simulate the Marine Corps within that team. Even though field team isn't a conventional unit name, it's our own unit. We like to be unique, but we do simulate like a 1st Battalion, 1st Marines type structure within the team, like an alpha company or something like that. So people don't have to worry about the simulation purposes of that. We do have our own doctrine. Some of it's derived from 1FR, some of it's our own, the guidebook and procedures, boarding in parties, all that. We have promotion boards, all that fun stuff. Anti-migrate, time in service. With field team now, as of current, we're starting back up with the original founders, which is Colonel Craig, or USMC-FT Colonel, and Major Cold, or USMC-FT Cold. The 2 original leaders of field team since the beginning of time. Field team started on Xbox Live on Battlefield 3 when the Conquest itself, if you didn't know, Battlefield 3 is like a 12v12 system. It's really small. So 12v12 private servers were like a thing back then. So if you had like 20 guys and 30 guys in your team, you were doing pretty good for yourself. Because there was only 12 slots for in game. Now you have 32 on Battlefield 4. It's so much different.
Yeah,
But that's when
different.
we started to grow as a team. We had 35 guys in our line chat that we used back then. On Battlefield 3, I came along when I was like 15, 14 years old. I was introduced to, there was a age requirement. I lied about my age requirement because I have a unique voice and they can't tell how old I am. I sound like I'm 40 years old, but I'm actually only like, almost in my 20s. So,
Yeah, I definitely would have guessed
I saw
40s
the
as
same
well. I'm
voice
not
back
gonna
then.
lie.
Yeah. So, it's that thing, even though a lot of people did join underage and the age requirement was like 17, but people lied because they wanted to be a part of something. And when we got to become a part of something, we grew, broke out of character, and we became the embodiments of what it meant to be part of field team. And no one could take that away from me or anybody that comes to this team. You won't understand the culture if you're not in it, obviously, but you can witness it from the outside. You can see how close we are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to go back onto today, right now, they're back, original leaders. I'm here, serving under them as their guiding hand or their workhorse of the entire Milsim. And I am essentially the staff and CO in command of the team under I lead the fucking team from the inside. So, in that case, with 4th ID and Lurch as well, the politics of Milsim, we all know it's terrible.
Yes.
Right today
Very
nowadays,
terrible.
it's very terrible. Uh, but with that being said, doesn't mean we have to just give up. we can have our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can be teams that have like their own thing going with them, and just wait it out until the next game or another game comes out, or even another Battlefield comes out that offers something, another home or another place to establish. And then Lurch understands us, and he knows Cold, he knows Craig. He's gonna know, that we're back, and he's gonna fucking, respect us. So it's our history together,
Mm-hmm.
Fourth ID and Field Team are always together. We've always been together, and that's kind of like our weird, strange bond that we have towards each other. Obviously, they think they're better than us, and we think they're better than them. It's kind of a strange thing, a little bit of a rivalry, but at the end of the
Nothing wrong
day,
with that.
two teams. But yeah. And then no matter who claims to be Field Team, if they don't, they may say they have doctrine. When I say doctrine, they have documents or something. Those documents have been handed down, and those documents also have been watered down. They may have even been made completely by somebody else, and they just claim it to be theirs. They don't know that.
Yeah, it's like us. We just gave over 29 ID tags back over to Reach because we recognized that Reach had it prior, and just out of respect, we handed it back over to him. I mean, we ran it for last year and a half,
Reach.
but we gave it back.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. Very good guy.
I mean, him.
Love to get him on one of these in the future.
Because originally I am a tanker in Battlefield Milsim. I was a really good tanker.
Mm-hmm.
So me and him have like a little bit of armor acquaintanceship, if you could say that, like a bond. Like, it's kind of awkward, but it works. Yeah, I've seen you with 29 ID tags before.
Oh yeah.
And everything like that. And there's a lot of
old
guys in
days.
Field Team and outside of Field Team that are not with us right now currently that they knew Colonel and Cold were back in action and everything, and I'm here, and they'll come back slowly, ever so slightly. And there's other guys in other teams, like Cold said before, that are we're Field Team. They're just spread out across the world, the universe, the cosmos.
Oh yeah.
Lost in the sauce, So.
And I'm starting to get some of that in with some of my old 29 ID guys, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't even imagine what it's like on your guys' scale, though.
It's very strange and awkward because it's been around. They've been around way for so long. I will tell you now. 2016 to 2017 to 2018, those 3 years, Greg was basically shot in the head by one of our COs that were in charge of keeping Field Team, which his name was at the time Captain was his rank, and he was some CFD Anarchy, Captain Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
He was in charge. He was told by Cold to preserve the team and keep it alive as long as he can on Battlefield 4. And Craig was in that team. And for some reason, I was in there, and I didn't understand it at the time, but for some reason, he decided to shoot Craig in the head in the game. And oust Craig out, essentially, and he did. He left. And since then, 3 years prior and to now, it's been the Field Teams that claim to be Field Team are not really Field Team. They may think, well, in the present day, they are Field Team. They may think they're Field Team, but they're really not the original Field Team. They can say that. They can believe that all they want. And then they even claim, since established since 2012, none of them, not even me, was around in 2012. You know who was around in 2012? Craig and Cold. Not me.
I know I wasn't around in
Not
2012.
even Lurch. Not even Lurch.
Yeah, I didn't
That was
even
a
get in
year
this world
after.
till like 2016. I want to say is one of my earliest time. 2016,
So me
2015.
claiming that I said, yeah, we have heritage and roots back to 2012. We're not established since 2012, buddy. There's been 5 or 6 iterations of Field Team popping up here or there. And I've helped that other iteration grow, and out of complications with me and my leadership and the way I wanted things ran and preserved, they didn't agree with me. So I had to leave twice over and left leadership to a bunch of, let's say, non-qualified members that think they are, above law.
Yeah, I know that
They don't
trouble.
know. They may or may not know that Cold or Craig is back because it's been only a week. But we are operational inside the team, at least. Not yet to the outside world. We will bring back our famous established boot camp, which is a real Field Team boot camp, what we've been using back in the day. It is.
Can you go into details on that at all?
Sure, I can. I'm not going to give you tips on how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
run,
yeah.
but
No,
I'll
just whatever you
definitely
can
explain
tell
to you
us,
what it is.
so everyone and the listeners can hear.
So the philosophy of Milsim. Nowadays people do what, 1 hour sessions?
Yeah, it's about what we do,
2
hour and a
days?
half.
Okay. Here's the problem with, our philosophy, what we believe. You guys that actually want to actually be here and protect the name. Having a longer boot camp protects the team from outside people that want to get into it, but they have to go through a process, and they see they have to go through a process and actually work for something that they claim they quote unquote want to do.
Yeah.
They don't do it, so in turn they're lying to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do it. They just want to hang out. I want to hang out, dude. It's like, well, you're here to Milsim, dude. So how about you? How about face on my party?
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of problem with that, and with Anarchy's field team, there was a 5-day boot, then it went down to a 4-day, then it went down to a 3-day boot. We call those boot camps a draft boot camp. It's a shorter boot camp, gets the job done during wartime. It gives more members into the team visually, but it doesn't work because that's not the real field team boot camp. I went through a 4-week boot. That was 2 days a week, 2 sessions a week for a month. One FR, and the older field team had 8 weeks. But it's still 1 or 2 days a week. Yeah, but it's not like you're working 5 days a week.
Well, I'm not saying it's preposterous. I'm saying it's
a long
crazy
process.
cool.
It's the boot camp tests it. What it does, it tests your loyalty and your actual desire.
Yeah, your
to
resolve.
be a part of something. Okay, so you want to be a part of my team, but do you really? So I'm gonna grill you like 2 times a week for a month. I'm gonna figure out. Do you really want to be here? We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the first 2 sessions he does great. But can he do it the 3rd time? Can he do it the 4th time?
Yeah.
Can he get to the last day?
If I can add to that.
Right.
Yeah, this is Thor speaking now, by the way, everyone.
Yeah,
it also creates muscle memory so that you don't just, the problem with the 1 hour things is that you just come in and some of them don't even know what the hell they're doing. But with the longer boot process, all the stuff that we're drilling into their head, it stays there so that once they get into the team and someone, let's say, asks them to do an inspection, a formal inspection, then they'll do it right away just like that. So it's not, there's a lot that goes into the boot camps and why we have them that long.
Yeah, field team is, one of our field team, really. I'm not trying to fucking praise one of our too much because I have my own squabbles with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all kind of crazy. They're kind of nuts, but I will give it to them that they do keep their things the same for a reason.
Yeah, I've had some limited interaction with them. I know the stories, obviously, and I've had good interaction with them, but I haven't had a lot of interaction
I was
exposure.
they were before, so I wouldn't base off what you see now as.
Well, I'm talking like 2 years ago. I knew them almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, so with the boot camp, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. It's like a phenomenon. Field team is a giant phenomenon, and the fact that it's like joining a cult. Just like the Marine Corps is a cult. If you join the Marine Corps, it's a cult. Why? Because the Marine Corps has their own jargon. The Army has their own fucking jargon. Not the Air Force. Air Force is just not the Air Force. I mean, most military groups will have.
Sorry, Chair Force.
The Air Force that my grandpa served in is a fucking pararescue in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Was not the Air Force that is today. I'll tell you now. But
yeah, they don't pay close to how
the
things go.
The military is a culture. It's a new life, right? It's a new lifestyle. Whatever you get out of it, some people just get nothing out of it, and they get, they go home and they do drugs and they die, because that's all they knew.
Mm-hmm.
They're depressed because they can't do it anymore. I'm not a military man. I'm a military informed person. I've done a lot of things as a child and a teenager through military programs. I do hope to be a Marine Corps officer, though, one day, with my degree.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that, though. Why? Well, because field team kind of helped me a little bit. It kind of, boot camp itself and getting into the team, and then being in the team over time helped me become motivated. So like you could say, um, it's like its own cult too, just like the Marine Corps is.
Mm-hmm.
You get in there, automatically you get right there. The recruiter's like, hey, I'll send you off. Welcome to, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, field team. Welcome to our fucking, our the receiving deck, and you'll be, I'll hand you off to your drill instructors, and that's it. The recruiter who was sweet talking to you for all this time is now gone. So you're kind of like, oh shit, get that feeling in your stomach a little bit or in your head. Oh God. Just like in the Marine Corps, you get on the bus, you get shipped off, and then the drill instructor steps on the bus, and now you're his. Right? You're there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't leave. You're introducing yourself to a new life. I'm not saying that you have to put your life in the field team, but it is something that will become a part of you if you let it do that. And that's what you get out of it. And only the real dedicated guys will say that because they've been here and they understand. Some of them haven't even been in the military, and they're amazing with field team. And as
Yeah, no, I get that.
They're still amazing people because they learn. I mean, obviously, everything every doctrine that we have is military checked, obviously, because it's from one foreign from the old days too. I mean, it's all vetted and everything. We used to have our one of our officers in the team. He was a legit. He was Army, but he was a staff sergeant in the Army, and he became a second lieutenant in the Army. Now to this day, he's a major in the Army still.
He's still with your team?
No, he's not still with the team anymore. He there's a possibility he can come back. His name's Ranger.
Okay, I think I've met him once.
He's
Back in
used
the day.
CFT Ranger. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
that man is something else. He's a monster. He has every tab you could ever know in the Army. He has it, and he's served 2 tours in combat. He's been in firefights. He's a good guy. He knows how to lead. He's been a part of field team.
Mm-hmm.
He was in field team. This guy, yes, he wasn't being instructed by it, like military personnel, but he understood it. So he was a part of field team too, even though he was Army and he was an officer.
Mm-hmm.
He understood it though. He had the mental discipline to understand what we were doing. And to go back to that boot camp, let me explain what it is. So, yeah, it's 4 weeks maybe. It's 4 weeks, suppose, and we only make you come 1 day a week or maybe 2 days a week. So it's not like a 7 days a week, 4 weeks process. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We all have lives. We all work, but the drill instructors are there to teach you everything. They're there to put their time in. So if you don't show up, you're wasting my time. You're disrespecting my time to teach you. So I'm going to disrespect your time and just tell you to get on my face. The boot camp, you are treated as such as a recruit. So you are a recruit. You're nothing until you can break out of your shell. The first 2 days, or the first 2 days will be the worst days of your life. You're going to be screamed at the entire time. You're going to be PT'd the entire time. You're going to be doing a lot of random movements, some IT, some intensive training, which is just like a quick smoke session of 1, 2, 3, get up, 1, 2, 3, stand up, look at your face, look at running around doing really rapid movements.
Yeah.
The other thing is getting in your rack on Silk Road, getting in your rack, get out of the bed, get out of the rack, flashbang, lights. That stuff is from the Marine Corps. They actually do that in the Marine Corps. They do the lights drill where they turn on the lights in the barracks and they start hitting the bucket and everything with the metal, and they'll start screaming at you. And
Yeah, it's supposed to disorientate you.
And they do it every day for the morning procedure. That's
Fun fact for the listeners, there's actually a form of, quote, torture that's like that, where it's sleep deprivation, lights, and loud noises, and it is not considered by torture by the Geneva Convention or the UN, but it's next to it, which is kind of interesting to see that, because I don't know a ton about the Marines, so it's interesting to see that they're using a version of that in boot camp. It makes sense, though.
Yeah, so what it is I tell my recruits, get in my hats right now. So we don't even, so here's the interesting thing, we don't use the words of a civilian. We use, that's the deck, the floor is the deck, get on my bulkhead right now. That is the wall. That's jargon, it's a Marine Corps Navy jargon. The door is a hatch. You want to take a break, take a knee, make a head call. When someone says that, the head call, it means go to the bathroom, take a shit, and come back. A head call you can interpret as on a video game. If I say head call 5 minutes, come back right now. 5 minutes, head call, go.
Snack break.
And they'll get off the mic, and it's like a little quick break, a breather in this case. But we're going to still use that terminology. That's what they do.
Quick question for Thor then here. Thor, when you go hit the head, what do you go do?
When I go hit the head,
Mm-hmm.
I go use the bathroom. That's what that means.
Fair enough. Did anyone else go get snack breaks, or is everyone for the most part just going to go relieve themselves?
Oh, they either stay on the mic and just and then they contemplate why they're here. That's what I did when I was part of it. I had to get drilled by Cold and such. Now, Cold is a very good drill instructor. He's so good. He's a genius for one. He's what made Fourth ID. He made Lurch as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like ascended. He's very he knows what he's doing. And I've taken a lot of that, but I've also, through my own research, and my voice is naturally like a drill instructor.
Yeah, you're not wrong
I don't
about
have to
that
yell
part.
anymore. I don't have to yell as much as people, have to. So I don't really yell. I like to instruct, but I will smoke you if I have to. That's how that works. But they had the boot camp and everything, lights. We do it with the flashbang. You get on out of your racks. We might do it like 10 times. And if someone doesn't get it right, we'll do it over and over and over and over and over and over. I'll do it like one time we did it for 3 hours. I had to do that shit for 3 hours. And then we continue on to the day where we got into classroom time, no time. We make people write down knowledge. Like in the Marine Corps. You'll have in boot camp on Parasana and San Diego, you're going to be put into a barracks for 1 hour a day. Well, that's what they used to do. I don't know if they do it now, but they used to have it to where a drill instructor who was quote-unquote the knowledge hat for that recruit class company or platoon or training series go in there and teach the Marines, or they want to becoming Marines, the recruits, knowledge on the Marine Corps. Whether it's like, just history or history and also like minor like culture things about the Marine Corps. Or even combat things, like small combat. That's more of a School of Infantry topic, but they touch base on combat things in the classroom time. In our classroom time, it's all about Marine Corps history and field team history. There's both. We do the Marine Corps history first. You're writing it by hand on a notepad or on your phone, and you're keeping that forever because you're going to need it forever for your entire time in field team. I still have my old book from like 4 years ago. It's there with me. Next to me, actually. It's on my desk. It's still there. And that was a scary thing, and you have to write it down. And there's also a lot of field team history you gotta write down too. It's not just that, it's field team history too. Our founding day, our guys that founded the team, who was that, who's field team's first this, who's field team's first that, stuff like that. Our first battle, different battles with our teams back in the day, different operations. It's that culture, and then when people see that, they're like, oh, this team is like legit. Obviously, if someone sees our team as small, yes, we're small, but we're all on the same page. So we're going to hold you to that. If you can't be on board with us, we don't want you in our team. Simple as that. And you can even make up that choice yourself. I mean, you, the person, you are what helped us as a team grow, but it's your choice at the end of the day that you have to make to stay. Just like in the Marines, not in the Marine Corps actually. Well, in the Marine Corps boot camp itself, they want you to pass. Just like we do want you to pass, but
yeah, I cut people all the time. I kicked out 2 people yesterday.
People get kicked out for the fact that they just can't handle it, or they did something wrong at boot camp, or they get like pushed back, recycled.
They just get butthurt. I mean, that's really common. They get butthurt.
Yeah, they can't handle it, and that's just like, hey, I don't want you, dude. I don't want you. And maybe that guy was a great guy, but he just couldn't handle it.
Yep.
Maybe he was great. Maybe he was awesome. I've had that, man. I've had amazing guys come in through boot camp, and then they just shit the bed. They can't handle it. They get mad at me for yelling at them. It's like, oh, my wife yells at me. You can't do that. Well, sorry, buddy.
That's
If I
wild.
can do it, and if Ranger, my boy Ranger here, who's a major in the Marine Corps, did it when he was a staff sergeant in the Army in like 2014, and he went through the 8-week program, so can you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So can you. And not only that, obviously we're not going to recruit somebody and tell them about everything and then put them through it automatically. I mean, they get to know the recruiters. They get to know guys during the pulley process, which is the pre-boot camp phase. And if you go to the recruiter station and enlist right now, you'll go into the pulley program, where they just slowly introduce
You guys got charts
to
on the
the
wall
Marine
too, like
Corps.
actual recruitment stations. You got charts on your Discord or line or whatever
I
that
mean,
say, hey, these are my guys, these are headshots.
we have databases and everything.
Mhm.
We have a pulley chat, and we have a recruit chat separate.
I got you.
Okay? So the pulleys are the guys that haven't gone to boot camp yet.
Yeah, they're pre-recruit.
They know the recruiters. They can kind of freehand talk to field team members and play with them in game and get to know them, so they can feel, hey, these guys are pretty cool. And then here comes the harsh reality of it. The recruiters say, okay, man, you know, our boot camp is like Marine Corps simulated, so you're gonna get introduced to the Marine Corps way of doing things, legitly on a video game.
Mhm.
Get ready. I mean, you have no other choice. And if you don't want to do it, just don't even waste my time. Get down on my party. Get on my party. You know, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say to them. You don't want to do it. Why waste my time? I mean, just be honest. And
No, I know what you
also,
mean.
with people that hop teams, they leave teams automatically. That's a warning. People that want to leave a team automatically just for your team, I wouldn't want that person.
I wish I had a
They're already
database so I could
gullible
just
to
know
leave.
all the people that do that. Just like
Yeah.
say, oh, this person's known for like. It'd be great if I could say, oh,
We
this
used to have
person's
a
been in these
database,
number of
but
Milsims.
you know, after so many different iterations of the same team,
Yeah.
people lose files and spreadsheets and everything, so we can't keep track of every member on the planet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the culture, you know. Once you get through the boot camp, we have our range day, we have rifle training, where you do write notes on like your weapon. You know, I know you like that stuff. I know you're into
Oh yeah, I
weapons
love
and
that
everything.
stuff.
And we teach this, like a basis of that about your service rifle, the ones you're using in boot camp. And then we teach them some tactics with that as well that apply to the actual game itself and not just real life. So it helps them, actually helps them. And it's a long process once you get to range. So if you survive the first 3 days of boot camp in our team, you're golden. After that, it's kind of your choice whether to stay or not. If you drop, you drop. If you drop, you're going to be filed, and we're going to know who you are, and we'll fucking destroy you next. We'll destroy you locally. If you're going to come back, we'll destroy you again. And we'll make sure you get destroyed.
Yeah, that's kind of ours is
what you're
too.
gonna
If you
do
can
is,
pass
you know.
BCT and AIT in our group, it's the same way. If you can get through those two things,
So
then
yeah,
there's
so
not
you
much
get
you
the
can't
range
do.
day, we have water survival day, we have field week. Field week is just all combat oriented introduction, basic combat movements of the Marine Corps. You know, buddy rushing, which is bounding before the Marine Corps. We would do something like that. Well as we have, I didn't even say anything about that, but we do weapons inspections, like an inspection, a uniform inspection. We do that.
You mind going into depth on what that means? Because I'm a little lost, honestly.
Yo,
Other than an
all
MLS
it
check.
is all it is a really formal equipment check.
Okay.
But what it does is it instills that discipline and emulates what it's like to be in the Marine Corps. Suppose if 3 guys are in a formation, and one of them is a corporal, one of them is and both of them, the rest of them are PFCs, suppose, and they're at attention with their knives out, shoulder to shoulder. Suppose the first sergeant walks in, or me, or our gunnery sergeant walks in. I look at him. All I gotta say to him is prepare for weapons inspection, and they know that. They go right to a 45-degree angle. They go right to a 45-degree angle with their rifle, aim down sights, and they stay put like that in that position until I walk in front of them, just like in the real. Just not really. They don't do that in real life, but you know they stand at a certain position at port arms or at order arms until one of the instructors or officers come by and you're supposed to, you know, as that person, introduce them and greet them. Proper greeting of the day, like good evening, good afternoon, good morning, sir or ma'am or sergeant or gunnery sergeant. And you say state your rank and name, reporting in for weapons inspection. Insert rank again, either sir, ma'am, whatever the fucking rank is.
Mm-hmm.
You get it.
Oh, yep. All right.
If
I'm
that's
going to
done
move on to
properly,
another question if we
you know,
can, if that's
you
all
get it.
right.
Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. That's fine.
All right. So I want to start with Thor here, if that's all right. Let's move on to the topic
Yep.
of if we can get now. Obviously, Zeus, you outrank him, so tell him to hush up if he can't talk on this. But let's get some thoughts on the current state of Milsim community, what your hopes are for the future.
Well, I haven't been really that involved with the community. Like, I've never been in the community chats before. I've never really gotten that clearance, so
You
I
aren't
can't
missing
really
much.
speak on that. But
Let me tell you.
yeah, but from what I've heard and from what I'm seeing, like other teams and stuff like that, it's not great. I've heard stories of what it used to be, and that's what I want it to be now, even though I'm not in there. But it's all politics from what I've heard major cults say, and I could see that. It shouldn't be that though. It should be very little politics and more, it should be more professional than what I hear it is now. I mean, that's all I really have. I haven't really been in the community before.
It's a lot of not
chat-wise, so I
talking
can't
and a
really
lot of calling people out. At least that's how I remember. It's been a little minute since I was in there last, but that's how I left it.
Yeah, that's all I really have for that.
Do you have any hopes of
as I
what you
said,
could
I'm
see
pretty
the
ignorant when it
community
comes
as a
to that.
whole, like, be in the future? Not necessarily the group chats, but like, what are some things, like, as a collective group that all Milsims we should be striving for lack of a better term?
I mean, I think we should all be on the same page, to be honest with you. Like, there should be a standard for every team, not just, because most of the teams out there now are just, little MLG comp teams that call themselves a Milsim, but they're really not. They don't have the boot process. They just see how good you are, and you get to have those tags. That's all it really is, and that's what I don't want it to be. Those guys don't want to emulate or simulate anything. I want it so that they do want to emulate and simulate what the tags are,
Can you break
So-
down more specifically what you mean by that? Like, what exactly you want to see them doing other than, let's say, a realistic boot camp?
I mean, like what you've said before, like using actual documents. I mean, if you're from America, that should be pretty easy.
Stupid simple,
so-
yeah, if you're from the U.S.
Yeah, if you're from the U.S., you can easily go to a .gov site and freaking look it up, and do that. Use the proper simulation, with weapons-wise, and a lot of them aren't even that professional, too. So that's one thing I want to look for as well. Like, these guys they gotta.
You
be
mind talking a little bit
professional
more
in a-
about the
in a way.
professionalism? Like, what specifically you see missing and what you'd like to see people improve on?
I mean, there is really no rank addressing at all. Like, they don't give people that respect. They just come up and. I know it sounds kind of petty to all those guys that are we're in the military and stuff like that, but we're doing Milsim, so we want that. You're not just gonna go up to a freaking I don't know, major in the Army when you're in the Marine Corps and not salute them, or in the Navy as well. You gotta salute them. If you're on that ship, you're a Marine and there's a Navy guy that's above your pay grade, you gotta give them that respect. And so that's what I mean by that respect. When you're in a party with them, address them correctly and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's all I really have.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair. Now, there's some merit to that idea for sure. I know we don't do a whole lot of that in my group. We're a little bit more of the business side of the military, which, quite frankly, maybe we should move more into the aristocratic side. But that being said, I mean, you bring up some valid points there. There's definitely some stuff that we could see. The level of respect would definitely change. You're not wrong. Zeus, you got anything you'd like to throw in?
Yes, so with that respect towards each other, if people that want to argue against what we're trying to do here on Xbox and Battlefield 4 and even PlayStation, well, PlayStation's different. That's a whole different culture. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I met with the PlayStation guy this morning. It's very different.
It's very strange. But that being said, if you think field team is too radical and we're just a bunch of wannabes Marines, you should try doing Arma 3 or going to squad and then saying, because to them, we're field team, and what we're doing here is baby steps.
Yeah, I know. I've dealt with some of those guys. It's
Field
incredible.
team, like our procedures are baby steps compared to them. So if you're not like field team, essentially, or you're not like fourth ID, or you're not that old, doing things correctly or trying to do it, we're getting generally even asking for help. You know, you're just that team that wants to slap on tags. Oh, look at my KD, bro. I went like 86-2, dude, on a one-shot server. Like, congratulations. Wow.
So do you think implementing
hurt
things
you as a
like
kid?
field manuals, like, I mean, I'm only speaking more about the Army right now because that's where I have direct experience with. You think implementing more usage of like field manuals and other Army pubs documents would be?
Well, for the Army, for
Yes.
for Marine Corps and Army sims that know in the back of their mind, those leaders, uh, that know what's right. They're just lost in this community today. The best thing that an Army community, a bunch of Army teams or Marine Corps teams can do for each other is help each other. The Army
Mhm.
teams share documents with each other. The Marine Corps teams share documents. That's what we've been doing with one of our and other Marine Corps teams. Even 5MAR had their
I know
thing
the
too.
Marine Corps
We
units
took
seem
care
to
of
do
each
it a
other.
little better than the Army units do for sure, because you guys share stuff like
Yes,
public
because the Marine
MOSs.
Corps is like again, the Marine Corps is like a cult, so we all can relate
Mm-hmm.
in some degree.
There's a reason there's
Obviously, if
more
your team is a
Marine
joke,
Milsims too.
if your team is a joke, and you claim to be a Marine Corps unit, but you have no fucking idea what that means, you need some help. I'm willing to offer you that help, but if you're gonna say that I'm a piece of shit, I'm going to okay, well then so be it. Be a clan then. I don't know what you are. I guess you can fantasize and be G.I. Joe, Rambo, shooting in the jungle type, whatever you want to be. But that's just ignorant. So
Mm-hmm.
that's wrong with people today. They just want to raid all the time and
Yeah, that's the one thing that really gets at me is the wanting to raid all the time. Like I always hate when people. And I
raids.
get it all the time in my comments too. People say, "Oh,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as a friendly raid." I'm like, "Well, it's not a joint training op. We didn't train. We attacked each other. It's a scrimmage. Scrimmaging is a
So
training."
back in the day, what we did. So when we did joint ops things, or even just a friendly engagement, I call them engagements, because it's a face.
Yeah, it's still an engagement for sure.
I call it engagement. So with that friendly engagement, at least when teams are good, is that when you come together in an AAR,
Yeah.
uh,
For
come
those that
together
don't know
in
what that is,
party
it's an
with the
after-action
leaders.
report.
It's an after action report, virtual, online with spoken words through your mouths of both teams, leadership, staff, or just two people from each side. And you guys kind of congregate, and hey, you guys did this very well. Or hey, this needs improvement. We saw you guys running around like this too much, so hey, it was really easy for us to get around you this way. Make sure you guys can work on that thing. Or then it's like both teams point out the good in each other and the bad, and then they can go home and walk separate ways.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that over time, people got greedy, and they had good players. They're like, oh, dude, we smacked your ass or something. We beat the fuck out of you. You guys get off my game. You guys are bad.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys have no idea what they're talking about. They're just a bunch of ungrateful people that probably don't even have, they're like bullies. They don't. Maybe they're insecure in real life, because a lot of them are. Those egotistical people that are like that. I can name off a lot of people from that. The SM team or 101A. To a CR, whatever the fucking 4CAB, whatever they call themselves, whatever tags they change every week.
Yeah,
They
a bunch
change
of people
tags
that don't
every week.
exist anymore, but I know you're talking about.
They're like a
Faticus
lizard.
and-
It's like a
or I shouldn't say
chameleon.
Faticus
It's
really,
like
but
yeah. Faticus means well, you just wrong
Yeah.
in the wrong crowd.
Faticus. I never had a
Talk
big
to him.
quell with Faticus. It was. No, they always said it was
His
his
team was
brother,
actually
but I don't know if it actually
decent
was.
at
The
the
two
beginning,
SCR
but
guys.
it just
Those I didn't
turned
like. Never a fan of the two SCR guys.
Yeah, and then that became a standard because they were big and cool, I guess. Like, dude,
Yeah.
what?
I remember we did a raid against them and we had like 12 guys hit all 32.
There's no process to join. You just hop inside, and when you join, there's no culture, there's no camaraderie, so you feel like a piece in the puzzle and nothing else. That's the
Mhm.
problem too with a team. Why even call yourself a team when you just use people like it's like Walmart or something? Like get the hell out of here. That's what they are. It's nothing. There's no if you don't know the people on the top, you're never gonna go anywhere in that team. You're gonna
Mhm.
be some tool they use. Uh, that's why a field team will never change. If with you will never change either. I mean, they're kind of changing a little bit, but you'll never change. Uh, just want to keep that protect the team and keep the culture the same.
So building on that idea, what do you see for the future of field team in the next, let's say next coming months, let's say 2 months, next coming 2 months? What do you see you guys progressing from where you are now to what you want to achieve?
Well, obviously there is another. I'm gonna have to bring it up. This is kind of a thing in the room that no one really talks about, but there is another FTR out there. Um, with, I would have to say, older generation FT that are. I was a part of that team. I helped that team grow to its size. I was there since the very beginning. I'm now with the
Pig Dog's
frustration
team,
inside
correct?
that team. Big Dog's team, exactly.
Okay.
Big Dog was below me. He told me he don't want to lead, but with other guys like Grand and Devil, the other two old FT guys from the back of the day, me and them didn't work out. And I just thought, hey, at the time I was really emotional and really passionate about this, and they kind of downgraded me to a point where I just gave up because I
Mhm.
miss what the problem is with me is I miss the real field team. And when I think about it, and people are trying to do things like when I get downgraded a little bit when I was in that FTR, um, it kind of depressed me a little bit, so I kind of just gave up in a sense. I tried my hardest. My boot camp, I had the draft. I did the draft. We did the draft boot camp in that team, the 3 days,
Mhm.
which was nothing. I mean, I just still tried to keep the same thing, right? The same traditions, the same boot camp feeling, but it wasn't the same.
Mhm.
Even with I tried to propose an SOI, school infantry. It's like AIT for the army, but it's for the Marine Corps. And I tried to incorporate that. They don't want to do that. And there was no culture in that team. There was no. I mean, I tried to observe the inspections as well that I was talking about, the weapons inspections. That was a thing only when I was around. No one else did them. I
Yeah,
forced
it's
people to
real
do that
unfortunate
because
too.
that's what people don't want. People don't appreciate me. They don't appreciate what I have to offer. So I took my leave. I took all the documents that I had, which is what they were using and relying on the whole time. They couldn't make a document to save their lives. So now Big Dog is using his 2MD manuals,
Yeah.
which are watered
So,
down field team
yeah,
manuals.
4 years old now.
um,
Are they're the same ones he was using back when he ran it, right? Those are the 4-year-old documents. Am
2MD.
I correct with that?
Well, he has his own 2MD documents, which are not actual field team documents.
Yeah,
They're just
but they're
2MD
like,
documents
because I
that he
remember when he
made.
led 2MD. Now, when was the last time he led 2MD? Because actually, I'm not familiar with when that ended. So is he using documents that are how old exactly?
That
Is
was
really what I'm
2018.
asking. 2018, so 2 years old.
2018.
Okay, you can continue.
I
By the
started
way.
that FTR team in 2018 Christmas time.
Mhm.
The server I'm in right now is the server I use for that team. I bought the server on Christmas Day of 2018, um, thinking that I could do this, and through politics and bullshit of leadership that appointed over me and others around me that didn't appreciate what I was doing, and I felt like I was being used. And other people can say the same thing. Still, there's people on that team that feel the same way. They just don't want to speak out about it because they're afraid. I don't know why. Um, you know, that's just unfortunate. And Pig Dog even told me, Zeus, I don't want to lead anymore. I'm done. And he left 2MD. They kind of pissed off his own guys because he left for our team.
Mhm.
So he left, and he told me I don't want to lead. I don't want to actually lead. I left when Grand was on the top of the team, and he retired himself with the most strangest credentials ever. And then Pig Dog, obviously, if I wasn't there, he ascended because he was directly under me, so he kind of got the team. Right then and there, they should have just disbanded completely because that was not field team. That's not
Mhm.
what you do. And Grand, in all terms, I have respected him a little bit, but at the same time, USM Safety Grand, to this day is a complete idiot. He's not. He's really belligerent. He doesn't even know anything about the Marine Corps. Doesn't care. Uh, he's not an original founder either, so he doesn't really have any say. So I took it on my liberty, a couple days ago to persuade my leaders to come back and help me for the name, to do it for the name. But as for your futuristic prediction for field team,
Yes.
slow process to build up back. Obviously, no one was going to want to do our boot camp right away. I mean, there's going to be some people that are going to want to do it. Boot camp's still going to be a long-term thing. I'll be like only 4 weeks, so it's not that bad. Don't cry about it. Figure it out. But that's the in-doc process is coming back. The SOI process is coming back. The inside culture, team formations is still going to be here. Whatever, form-up team time, pub smashing time is going to still be here. We're going to have our trainings. It's all here. Field team is here, and it's back to offer you what we offered back then. It's just your choice if you want to be a part of it. Now, with growing, it's going to take a long time before we can probably fill a server. Probably 6 months. You don't know how long it takes, until you work for it. With FTR, it took me, after even 4 months of having that team, I only could fill a server with like 13 guys, 14, 15 guys. And it takes a long time to build that standard, but obviously people on that team were on board with me, so that was hard for me to establish something. And unfortunately, they think they're the real deal because I essentially indirectly, in terms, gave them FTR. So they take a lot, like they don't care about me. They think I'm nothing. So I gave them their team, essentially. But, I'm an underlying issue to them, and to myself, I do admit to that I'm an underlying issue for doing that, but it's over now. The past is done, and I'm back. And I'm here to take my name back and save my team with the the original leaders, the guys who made the team and founded it and led it for 5 years. So, I don't know. And even Lurch understands that, definitely, 100%. He will bow down to correct. I'm not telling Lurch to bow down or anything. I'm just saying there's a
level of respect, yes.
Or Cold is a Milsim, legend.
Can we talk more about him? Is that all right? I knew after yesterday's conversation to me it felt like we were going to avoid that, but
Cold,
tell me whatever you can.
And Craig, so to get to know Kroll, you got to know Craig a little bit. So Craig is our colonel. Like Colonel Chase of 1FR, he is our colonel. They were originally 1FR Marines. They're in 1FR originally. They were sick of 1FR and they wanted to make their own thing. They felt like they wanted to be bold and start a new unit. A field team. It's basically based right out of 1FR on BF4. Cold was in there. He kept all along. And they started with 12 guys. Or no, they started with 8 guys. Built to 12 guys on BF4. And built to 30 guys eventually. Cold, he did all the boot camps. He did all the training. All the knowledge times. And he even introduced something called, I used to be part of those party sessions where he had something called Major Cold Fun Times, where we would literally, one day a week, get slammed and drunk in a party with him. And just be ourselves.
That sounds like a blast. That would be fun.
Because without that day...
For those of you that are 18 plus, or 18 plus, 21 plus.
Yeah.
21 plus.
Let's just say, there was a lot of underage drinking.
Better be on private property. We can't talk about that then.
Oh yeah, I know. It happened. Sorry.
Private property.
Kids do what kids do. Yeah.
Private property. We're good. Most people are at home when they're on Xbox.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's all right. But Colt did that, And what was interesting about Colt, though, any other day of the week, you try to call him, "What's up, bro, Colt?" You said it to his ass. You're doing PT for 3 hours for 5 days straight with him. Him smoking you for calling him that one time. That's how in depth he was. Every other day of the week he was Major Gold. Sir, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Why? The guy is psychologically, he knows how to talk to people. He can get down with people. He's a man. He was in the I believe he was in the army. Don't quote me on that. He did serve in the
Noted.
military.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a
I didn't
proud
serve
about it, though.
either. So some people always come to me and say, "Oh, so what branch are you in?" And I never served.
And he's yeah, well he knows about the military. And what happens is kind of like me, is like, yeah, just because you served, I had the congratulations you served, but your effort you put towards field team on Xbox is what I count you on, not
Yeah,
your service. Um, people understand.
as it
People
should be.
understand that. That is the 3%, or the very few, and the majority don't.
It's
That's
like I had a
what makes us
guy that
unique.
was joining my Milsim, and we butted heads some and worked some together for about 2 months. Really, he was a reconnaissance
I mean,
medic in
yeah,
the army.
there is a video on YouTube right now. You can go look it up. It's the last video of FTR that is a rip from the original team. There used to be 4 videos. You look up a video called "We Are FTR." That is an old video. It has like 1,000 something views on it. It's like a montage introduction of what Field Team was, and you can look
Mm-hmm.
that up. It's pretty old. Uh, and
All right,
Cole was in
listeners, look
charge of
that
the
up.
8 week and 4 week boot camp and everything like that. Yeah, you can look that up whenever on your free time. We Are FTR.
I'll try to find
It's
it and
a
put it in the description if I can.
yeah. It's about it should come up like with like a Battlefield 4 like thumbnail.
Game search or
I'm not
whatever.
sure.
Yeah.
It's there's an EGA and everything on there. There's Marine Corps emblems all over that. But yeah, our Grand was in charge of making that video. He used to be our digital guy, digital marine. Helped us with the media, and that was interesting. That was what he was good at. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he was good at doing those things, and he cared about the team in that sense by doing that.
Thor, it sounds like you want to chime in on something. Am I correct?
I was just gonna say, don't mind his little shotgun crap, because as we said, he is belligerent and doesn't really care. So if you see some stupid shotgun compilation,
Grand was always known for doing what he kind of wanted to do. So Craig and Cold established Grand as his own MOS because this guy was so chronically.
Hey, Thor, we're getting a little
fixated on
feedback from you
strangest
right
things.
now from your microphone.
Yes.
You mind adjusting that?
oh, what'd you say?
We're getting a little bit of feedback
better
from your
get back.
microphone. You mind fixing that, please?
Yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
but Cold is since the very beginning. We always tell guys since the very beginning he was instrumental in building the team from the very beginning. He was the face of field team.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially. Cold like a real CO, like a real fucking CO. Craig showed up sometimes, and his XO did everything. Just like 4th ID. You know the CO's name of 4th ID?
Yeah, Lurch.
Exotic Monster.
Oh, yeah,
Exotic.
I'm sorry. Lurch is
Oh.
EXO. My apologies. You're correct. Exotic Monster is
See
the
why? That's exactly what we did. We did too. The executive officer of 4th ID does everything. Colonel Exotic exists in the clouds.
Yeah.
That's how it
It's
works.
almost
In real life,
mythical.
too.
Yeah, it's almost mythical.
Well, in real life, that's how it works too. If you join the military, most cases, the CO is there, but he's not there. The executive and his staff of NCOs are going to do everything. That's how that works. Combat, maybe it's a little bit different, but your platoon leaders and your NCOs are the ones leading your combat force into combat, right? That's how that works.
You're
That's
going to
what
hear
we
from
did.
your NCO more than you're going to hear from your CO.
Yes. Yes, so that's what's going on, and and what will happen with us? Maybe we might lose our fight to save the name. Maybe we might just lose our fight to save Field Team's legacy from Pig Dog's strange. I mean, the man cares. The man's a great leader in combat. The guy, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So there's no really excuse for him to ignore the fact that what his team is, because it's not Field Team. For one, even if it wasn't Field Team Regiment, that team structurally and like chemistry-wise and cultural-wise is not a good team. It's just like I could easily put it on the same subpar level as 19th MU of how bad they are, of like when it comes to like team play and inclusion and appreciation for others within their own team. There's nothing there. there's nothing there. And the guys that
enough.
are old FT guys that are in there know better, but they don't know if Cole or Craig is back. They only know that.
Yeah, they need
Super
someone to lead them.
is
They need
still
something to be an inspirational edge.
So then if they hear that Colonel, Colonel and the Major are back, they will literally come flocking, flapping their damn wings. Please, let me back. But it's up to the Colonel.
I'm gonna chime in real quick
not
here,
me.
because we're running a little low on time. We've been at this for 55 minutes now, so we're gonna try to wrap this up in 5 more minutes. Thor, is there anything you wanted to chime in on the future? Some future prospects you're looking forward to? You being a more, I don't want to say lower member because you're not, but middle ground member. Anything that you see that you'd like to see you guys implement or strive for the future?
I mean, is my mic good now?
Your mic's fine, yes.
All right. I mean, really everything that I was gonna say was already said by Gunnery Sergeant here, because I mean I see eye to eye, and that's why we work together so well. So mainly everything that he said.
In that case, is there anything you want to chime in? Any
Yeah.
call outs? Any shout outs? You guys have been here for 55 minutes. Anything you guys want to do? Some plugging of your own unit? Some throw up some plugs?
No, not really.
Done.
No.
No recruitment time. You want to tell people to hit you up at a certain time? None of that.
No. There's really nothing to. We're not open for business yet.
Fair enough.
That's gonna be like a 2-week thing. Till then. So you feel free to add my gamer tag, and I'll get back to you. But if you want to become something great, then go ahead and freaking add me to Thor. But until then,
And I'll throw your guys'
no
gamer
business
tags
yet.
in the link description in the bottom, just in case if people forget how to listen and spell from me saying your names earlier.
Right.
But yeah, I guess we'll just wrap this up then, guys. It was nice talking with you both today. Thank you. Unfortunately, we're running a little low on time. But
Thank you.
no, we'll definitely have to do this
There's so much
again.
to explain. There's so much history behind this team, and
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again.
into one. Yeah. Alrighty.
All right. Well, thanks guys for listening in, and there will be more of these in the future. Check us out again.
Thank you for
and
having
if you have
us.
any questions, yeah, you guys too. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up. We'll definitely do some more stuff. And listeners, comment whatever you want to see next. If you have a specific Milsim you want to see interviewed next, I have a few ideas of people that we'll hit up. But yeah, catch you guys next time.